Spring is officially here, and that means only one thing in prep sports. It's time to get busy watching some baseball. On the JC front, the El Camino baseball team started out on a strong winning streak. Mount Sac comes to town to try and bring them down. It's time for North and Bishop Montgomery to flex their bullpen muscles. Who throws the heaviest bench press, so to speak? And to the Spartan Diamond we go with one man on the hill down. Who do they call in their game against Banning? Plus, the United Studios of Self-Defense helps kids to protect themselves from strangers. From the diamond to the court to the track, this spring we've got you covered, Torrance, so it's time to get fired up because the Sports Desk starts now. Hello and welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Bonnie Prickitt. There's a lot of news from the baseball field to talk about, but first I want to tell you about the valiant effort that the Bishop Montgomery Knights girls basketball team made in one of the CIF state tournament final games. The Division VI final game against Harvard Westlake saw a few of the same mistakes from the other final game, and while they're losing 4 seniors, there's still a strong core that plans on being there next year. Most baseball teams use the preseason as a barometer for everything from who's going to go in the starting lineup to the reality of actual talent. The game for the North versus Bishop Montgomery is no different, and Sarah Pila punches in the story.
The North High Saxons and the Bishop Montgomery Knights have had an up-and-down start to the season. They both come into this game with a 2-3 record and are looking for nothing else but a win.
Practice pretty hard on some of the things that we need to work on from the game on Saturday against Redondo. I expect our guys to come out ready to play, a good game and be fundamentally sound, which we really stressed yesterday, and we always stress, but we stressed that quite a bit yesterday in practice.
Corey Bishop on the mound for North. First inning, ball is too high for the catcher, and Johnny McLaughlin will run to second base. Ball 4 will send A.J. Kissinger to first, and now bases loaded. The ball is popped up and flies to the outfield. Left fielder Coleman Nielsen can't quite get there in time, tries to throw the ball home, but Johnny McLaughlin scores 1-0 Bishop, and that wild pitch will send in Rick Hoffman, score now 2-0 Knights. There's Kissinger running home, he'll tack on another run, 3-0 Knights. And this 5-3 play will be the third out, and we're finally going to the bottom of the first. Leadoff hitter Philip Ahola hits the ball and makes a single. Matt Jarvis sends Gideon in. Saxon's down by 1. That'll be the inning. Scores now 3-2. Top of the fourth, 4-2 Knights. That hit will send in 2 runs, so Christian Sarabia and Johnny McLaughlin score. It's now 6-2 Knights. We're now in the bottom of the 6th. Saxons trail by 4, and Brandon Gideon hits a double down the third baseline. Big plays for this guy today. Matt Jarvis hits the ball, and that'll send him out, but it'll send Brandon Gideon to third base. Ball flies out to center. Brandon Gideon will get his second run of the game, and that will be the last run scored for either team. Final score is 6-3 Bishop Montgomery. With the Knights having a great practice prior to the game, Coach DeMaria explains what went wrong for the Saxons.
Lost it in the first inning, and we also lost it, we lost it at practice yesterday. We had a horrible practice yesterday, and they carried it right into today, and they gave the game away in the first inning, not playing defense, not communicating, and we pretty much gave them 3 runs.
The North High Saxons lost their 4th game of the season against the Bishop Montgomery Knights. The Saxons trailed the entire game. They did come close to tying in the second inning, but after the Knights put up an additional 3 runs in the 4th, the Saxons were never able to close the gap. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Sarah Pila.
Thanks, Sarah. The Knights' 6-3 win over North had Johnny McLaughlin 4 at-bats and some good stats to follow up with it. You also see Rick Hoffman had 3 hits and 1 run. And Scott Brower did pretty well as well, and 3 strikeouts. Taking a quick look at a few North stats, catcher Brandon Gideon did very well with his 3 at-bats. Jack Kennedy went 2 for 1 at the plate. The South baseball team is 2-1-1 going into the game against the Banning Pilots. In order to win against the formidable Pilots, they would need a big-time effort. After their big-time pitcher goes down, they look to their bullpen for help. We look to Michael French for the story.
It was the South Spartans taking on the Banning Pilots. Banning, a 20-minute drive. They're in Wilmington, California. And a scary moment for the Spartans early in the first inning. Senior pitcher Matt Borgiali felt something go wrong in his arm. You see Coach Grady Sain talking to him. He needed to come out of the game. We're wishing him a speedy recovery. Alex Hernandez came in and filled in admirably, but here gives up a single to Francisco Chavez. That drives in the pitcher, Alex Siktos. That made it 1-0 Banning in the top of the first. Still in the top of the first, 2 outs. Ryan Carmona, the shortstop, makes a gorgeous play. You see him diving on the second base side, throwing the runner out at home. And that is Alex Sevilla. He is gunned down by Carmona. It was 3-0 at the end of the first inning. And here, top of the 5th, you see RJ Cunningham drawing the double play. He came in middle relief and dominated for the Spartans up until the 6th inning. Here you see him give up the single to Francisco Chavez. He scores in 1. At the end of 6 innings, it was 6-0, Banning ahead of the South Spartans. But the Spartans will get a power surge. You hear the ping. That means only one thing. Ryan Carmona goes deep to left center, and that made it 6-2. And when you hit a bomb like that, you don't have to sprint around the bases. A big shot by Carmona. He also made some great plays on defense for the Spartans. But in the end, it would be the Banning Pilots, Alex Siktos, throwing 7 strong innings, getting the pop out here. And Banning is going to be a very good team this year. The Spartans fought hard, but they lose 6-2. And head coach Grady Sain talked about the loss.
The bullpen did a good job there for the most part. Alex came in short notice. That first inning that he came in, we could have easily been behind 5-6, nothing out of the gate. We were able to minimize by getting a play at the plate and keeping the runs down. And then RJ came in and threw up, I think, 2 or 3 zeros there in the middle of the innings, and that was huge for us. It kept the game within reach.
We come out with the right mindset. We came out a little lazy, and we can't do that now. We're not a good enough team to come out lazy. We need to come out every game and play hard.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. One of our best pitchers, Borgiali, got taken out. But I give it up to Hernandez coming in cold and shutting him down.
Yeah. Despite courageous efforts in the bullpen from Alex Hernandez and RJ Cunningham, the South Spartans lose 6-2 to the Banning Pilots. And head coach Grady Sain said it's going to be important for his team moving forward to raise the pitch counts for the opposing team's pitchers to at least 10 an inning. If they can do that, he expects them to be able to be effective on the offensive end. Reporting for the Sports Desk, this is Michael French.
Thanks, Mike. Big expectations for a very good and quick Spartans team. They put up a good fight over Banning. Carmona shot out a homer. Alex Hernandez and Ryan Cunningham did all right considering they came in cold. Let's go and take a look at some more scores. Torrance baseball tried to get one over St. John Bosco, but learned some lessons in the 7-2 loss. And Luke Perisco and Daniel Dietz both scored runs for West in their loss to Hart. So that's it for baseball. We'll have more scores from the ongoing Redondo tournament next week. For now, let's go and take a look at the softball scores. The West girls softball team got a huge win at the right time. This 12-0 win against Blair is sure to boost morale and expectations for the Lady Warriors. And South is just getting fired up, boasting a 5-0 win over Bay League's Palos Verdes. In their second game in the Downey tournament, Torrance couldn't hold off a good San Pedro team. And another 1-run loss for the ladies of North in the Foothill tournament. And that's it for softball and baseball. After the break, we've got some tips to keep your kiddos safe from strangers. You don't want to miss it.